Brito here with Team PPG, and I'm here to show you my Belphemon deck profile. To start us off, I actually want to start with our level 6s. So I want to show you my ratios from there, and then we'll jump back to the eggs and start and continue from there. So to start us off, I'm going to be doing 3 Belphemon sleep modes. Oftentimes people go for 4, but in most lists you can easily recur these. So even if you have like 1 in rotation, you could always just, like, after it gets trashed from the top of your stack into the trash, you could easily just recur it and use it again. It's the rage mode, which I run at 4. These are kind of harder to recur since they stay in the stack. All right, and now for the last level 6 I run, I'm actually running 3 EX2 Belphemons. The reason for this is you'll see now that I'm running more of a mill archetype Belphemon, and surprising enough, it works very, very well. I actually prefer it over the standard build just because I understand the mill archetype better than the draw discard. All right. So, of course, the Belphemons are to help recur your Impmons. It's kind of self-explanatory here. So this is mainly to recur Impmons. All right, now for the eggs, you'll see now that I am running 4 Yamons. Since I'm not running the Gizmon package in this archetype or in this deck, I'm actually just going to be doing somewhat of a stack build, and the Yamons pretty much help for that. So oftentimes I'll have my Rage mode with this as an egg, and since he's a Demon Lord in traits, he gets the mill top 2. So this really helps out with the deck itself. Now for the rookies, I am running 4 on deletion imps. I am running then 4 of the BT6 imp, the one that on play you trash a card from your hand and pick up either a 7 Great Demon Lords in its traits or a 3 Musketeer. You'll see that in this list. It's mainly for the 3 Musketeers. Not 3 Musketeers, I'm sorry, for the 7 Great Demon Lords, which is just about every single one of your level 6s. Then continue off 4 of Psychmon, and then a 1 of Phascomon. So the Psychmon is kind of self-explanatory. It actually helps out a lot for it, mainly for the Royal Knights matchup, but it also helps out a lot for the Belphemon Mirror, mainly because since an R side on the mill archetype, you're not going to be reducing play cost, you're going to be evoing most of the time. The Psychmon really helps stop them from just hard dropping their Gizmons. The Phascomon is just simple, a level 3 rookie. That's about it. If you want to change any of these ratios to put in more Impmons, the only other Impmon I tried out was the EX2 Impmon that helps either on play, reveal top 4, pick up an Iron Mako and a Belphemon name. That one's okay, only really because it helps you extend your mills. When it comes to doing the on play, you just bottom deck almost every single one of your cards. So that's why I'm not running in this list, just because it's his only real asset to this deck is just to mill more. So that's why I decided to just cut him completely. And before I was running 3 Psychmon, but I decided to cut him to run 4 Psychmon. All right. For the level 4s, it's kind of standard from a regular Belphemon list, but it's, 4 wizards. This is just kind of a staple when it comes to any mill archetype list. I'm then running 3 wizard X's. This is actually a pretty funny combo where I ended up giving my Belphemon blocker because I wizard X, and then not only do I have the pitch 2 cards to stop the attack and spawn a blocker, I also have him to be a blocker himself. So I caught some of my opponents off guard with that, and it's actually just a really funny interaction. For this next card, it looks and seems kind of troll, but it's actually come up a lot. It's the EX1 Ogremon. So a lot of people, when they run this card, they mostly use him for his security attack plus. The when attacking, pitch a card from your hand, he gains security attack plus, and he'll be doing 2 checks at 5k. I'm not using him in this list for that reason. I'm using him for his inheritable. That when attacking, you pitch a card and you gain plus 2k. It's less about gaining the DP and more about pitching a card from your hand, because there's times where I've had a kind of a slow start and I'm still trying to find my pieces, and I end up having like 7-8 cards in hand, and to help accelerate trashing cards from my hand, that he's there to help with that. And it's actually come up a few times, but for the most part, he ends up getting milled. So you can honestly just, if you want to cut him for something else, you could always just do like 2 Wizardmons, or maybe even add in a 4th Wizard X and maybe another dude. But for the most part, I kind of like these ratios. And then the last level 4 that I'm running in this list is another blocker, Belphemon. So yeah, simply on play, mill top 2. He's a 4-drop and he's a blocker. Love this guy. All right. Now for my level 5s, I run the obligatory 4 of Astamon in this list. Astamon, he is kind of what I like to say, he's kind of what makes Belphemon so strong. It's not only does he have the on-play when digivolving, that's by digivolving, yeah, so let me read exactly how it's worded. It's by deleting one of your other purple Digimon, this Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with Belphemon in its name from your hands without paying its cost. So pretty much, oftentimes what I like doing is either just straight up hard playing them, popping one of my other imps, and just going into the Belphemon right then and there. That's like honestly one of the most aggressive plays you can do with this. But what I love doing is this combo, because the other level 6 I'm running, other level 5 I'm running is the Belphemon. So BT10 Belphemon, simply he's here not only for the on deletion effect, but he's mainly to help get key targets in trash. So oftentimes when I just evo into him, I like to just turn sideways, mill as much as I can, so I can get as many rage modes in trash or even sleep modes in trash as I can, because all the other cards in my deck help me recur the sleep mode from my trash to my hand. So one thing that I actually did against the Royal Knights player one time, this was like turn 4, where I had like a Belphemon out, and then I had like an Impmon in the back, and I was at 3 memory. So after thinking about it for a few minutes, I was considering either recurring my Psychmon to hard drop that and maybe slowing down my opponent, but I just decided, you know what? Let me get my Belphemon back, my sleep mode, and then hard drop Astamon, pop the Belphemon to go into the sleep mode, and I have the sleep mode stack where it's like sleep mode rage Asta, and then on deletion of the Belphemon, I play a Beelzemon. So literally I put my opponent to 4 and I had a Belphemon and a Beelzemon on the board, and it was like a really funny anime moment. So yeah, 4 Astamons, 3 Belphemons. Then you already saw the level 6s where I run 3 sleep, 4 rage, and then 3 EX2 Beelzemons. And now for a single level 7, which is blast mode. He is mainly here for the swing for game. He's pretty much just there for that. A lot of people forget that like I'm running him because they see 1 Belphemon, an Impmon, and 4 security, so they think, oh, like I'm not gonna have enough swings for game. But then I just evo into this for 1 swing for game. Yeah, they never see it coming up until I do it the first time. For options, I'm only running 4 options. I am running 4 rivals. Simple enough. It's just kind of a staple now in most mill archetype decks, where it's you mill it, you get to put onto the battle area, and then pop it to bring either a Tamer or a purple Digimon from your trash to your hand. So it's really helps with your recursion, and it also really helps with just having a good security bomb. This has saved me so many times in the mirror. So yeah, for rivals, that's the only options I run. You could also try to do Death Slinger, but I was finding it really hard to like justify having them, since this deck isn't really a Beelzemon deck and it's mostly just a Belphemon that just so happens to mill. So I decided just cutting Death Slinger altogether, because it was helping out nicely with like the memory manipulation, but it wasn't helping me too much extend my gameplay. So if you guys want to change up the list a little bit and you want to try it out, go for it. All right, and then lastly for the Tamers, I'm doing 3 Iron Mako and then 2 the Akihiro Kurata. So I really like Iron Mako at 3. Iron Mako, pretty much, it's along with the Wizard Inheritable, this is another way to be able to just to get cards from your hand into the trash, or just get cards out of your hand altogether. So let's say I'm at 6 cards by the time I'm about to end my turn. I evo into the sleep mode. I end up tapping this to put 1 card on top of my deck, and that negs you 1 card in your hand. You're not going to mill, but you're fixing your hand so that you don't have the 6 or the 7 at the start of your turn. So yeah, Iron Mako really helps out with that. Also with the mills, stacking your mills. And then this might feel a little awkward to some of you just looking at it since I'm drawing and discarding. But with all the cards I have in my deck that helps me stack the cards in my hand, the drawing and discarding, this, like, it's totally okay. The reason I'm running at 2 is because sometimes I get him in hand start of the game and I just hard drop him, or he gets in security. So 2, I like it at 2 mainly because I see it enough where I get benefits from him. It's a little awkward since in this list you won't really be able to like play him for free because I'm not running the Gizmon package. But regardless, I think he's really, really good in this list, mainly because he's also another way for you to pop level 6s. The main differences between this list and the standard list is that the standard list you're always going to be floating with the Gizmon, but with this one you're usually going to be floating the imps using the EX2 Beals. And the EX2 Beals, I find so many ways to recur them and just continue looping it. Like oftentimes oftentimes I have a stack, like let's say Impmon. Let me take out the cards. So it's Impmon with Wizard X. Let's say I have Asta, and then I have, yeah. Oh yeah, and then the, ooh. So let's say oftentimes the optimal stack would be this, any level 3 really, Wizard X, Asta, and then you have the rage mode. Oftentimes when it is the only thing on my field, I usually swing. Before I do my mills, I reveal a Belphemon using the Wizard Inheritable. I mill it. I end up either going into BT6 Imp or the On Deletion Imp. Oftentimes I go into the BT6 Imp to pitch a card to grab back the sleep mode that got trashed at the end of your opponent's turn. So I get to recur it. And then after I do all my mills and I do all my checks, end of attack, I pop this to restand. So that's usually how my games go and how I usually win it. This is my Belphemon deck profile. Let me know what you guys think. And also, let me know what you would name this deck. If you don't have any of the cards you saw here, we have the TCG player affiliate link down below. And if you want exclusive content, you can sign up to our Patreon down below. I used to have like this one rap. I forgot. It was like really corny, but it's like, my name is Brito, brother of Joe. I got me some crack. I need me some hose.
What?
It's literally just those 4 lines. Got me some crack. I need me some hose. I'm so white, dude. Oh my god. Dude, just my skin is just like all the light just bouncing off my skin. It's not absorbing any of the light, bro.